Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tin Man Quarter Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my second Nighttime Spooks video for you guys, and this was titled 3 True Fortnite Horror Stories. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road in the bag, shall we? All right, everybody, here we go.
Back in early 2018, I started playing Fortnite to see what all the hype was about. I played it for a few days and I was starting to get the hang of it. I played in squad matches, which is teams of 4 people, and they're usually random.
My cousins are video gamers and they like to play that game sometimes, but I don't see what the hype is all about. I mean, it's just characters with weird looking sci-fi weapons, and you gotta either build a fort to defend yourself from enemies or you go out and attack them. You know, it's almost like Call of Duty, but more fantasy like. That's how I can describe it. I was just never a huge fan of this game. But let's continue on with this person's story, shall we?
After one match, I got a friend request from one of the members on my team. During the game, he didn't speak at all and did not have a microphone. I accepted his request because I figured why not and didn't think anything of it. About 10 minutes later, I got a message from him. I figured he wanted to play, or maybe he was making a joke saying I was bad like people usually do. I opened the message, and it was a picture of a house. I looked closer, and to my surprise, it appeared to be my house. My heart dropped. I quickly shut all my windows and covered them. Then I went around my house making sure all my doors were locked. I peeked out the window and didn't see anyone. I messaged the user back and asked where he got that picture. He replied with a shrugging emoji. I reported him, and shortly after, his username went away and his profile was deleted. I was creeped out afterwards, but nothing else ever happened. I figured he was some type of hacker trying to mess with me, but I'm just glad I don't live there anymore.
It might be just a hacker that was messing with you, but I don't think so. He probably was hoping to gain something from you, like you give him money and he won't share out where you live at and something like that. But luckily he didn't do that, and he reported him and got his account deleted. But that is something I would never do, is accept friend requests on video game platforms like that, because you never know what these people planning on doing. And they send you a picture of your house. They must live in the same area as you, and they were able to use your account information and probably figure out where your address is at. But that is scary.
I play Fortnite all the time with my friends online. It's kind of become a nightly routine for me. One night, a couple months back, I was playing up in my room. It got pretty late, and my friends went to bed, but I wasn't that tired yet, so I played some solo matches. I was in the middle of a game when I heard a tap come from my window. At first, I was so in the zone that I didn't think anything of it, but after a minute or so, there was another tap. Suddenly, my focus wasn't on the game anymore. I ended up getting killed in Fortnite, and I sat there frozen in my chair, not knowing what to do. There were blinds covering my window, so I couldn't see out. I sat there trying to convince myself it was something harmless like bugs flying against the window. The tapping happened again. At this point, my curiosity got the better of me.
Yeah, I don't think it's bugs hitting the window, because if it was bugs, it'd be like a little light tap. Birds would do like a louder thud like this. But if it's like multiple taps, like you're just hearing like, that's probably somebody out there. They found out where you live at. I wouldn't go to the window.
I slowly went to the side of the window and lifted the blinds. What I saw, I will never forget. There was a man looking directly at me. He had a dirty beard, and his eyes looked angry, and he was wearing all black. I jumped back and ran as fast as I could to my parents' room. I yelled at my dad to wake up and that someone was in our yard. At first he acted annoyed and confused, but after a minute or two, he got up, grabbed his gun, and walked outside. About a minute later, I could hear my dad yelling. He came back inside and said he saw the man on the edge of the woods across the street from our house, and when he saw him, he ran. My dad calmly called the police and explained to them what had happened. They came and took down information from us and said they'd patrol the area for the rest of the night. The next morning, we got a call from the police saying they caught a man attempting to break into a car at about 5 a.m. and he matched the description. I felt so relieved to know that he was caught, and I slept well after that.
Thank God, because no kid should see somebody staring at the window. I mean, that's just terrifying by itself, especially if somebody had a mean look on their face. You would give a kid nightmares for life. But thankfully, he got his dad to wake up and go out there with a gun, and his dad believed him when he saw the man near the woods. But man, I would have put the gun up in the air and shot a round off just to scare him off and be like, "Don't you ever come back." But luckily, when they called the cops, they found the guy that matched the description and got him arrested. But man, that is scary to encounter when you're playing a simple Fortnite game and all of a sudden somebody's just walked up on your property and looking through you at the window.
I've always been a big gamer, so when Fortnite came out, I was really into it. I have a PlayStation 4, and I like to play with random people. One time, I played a random duos match with someone named Oliver something. His username was a bunch of numbers and an underscore somewhere. I don't remember the exact digits. Anyways, during the game, he didn't say much. He did have a mic and we talked a little bit about strategy. He sounded to be around my age and honestly he seemed pretty normal to me. After the match, he sent me a friend request. We did pretty decent, so I accepted him. I played a duos match with someone else, and during the game, he sent me a request to join his game. I ignored it and kept playing. A few minutes later, I got another invite from him, and then another a few minutes later. I was starting to get annoyed. After the game, there were about 10 messages from him. They said things like, "Play with me," and "Where are you?" and "Join my game." I thought it was funny, and I laughed it off. I wrote him back that I was in another game. I expected him to be cool about it, but he told me I was dumb to do that, and I should have joined his game.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You should not call anybody dumb because they're playing another game instead of his game. This guy ain't going to back off of him unless he responds to him. But at that point, I'd be like reporting his account and getting him deactivated.
We ended up playing another game together, and this time, instead of just talking strategy, he started to ask me all kinds of personal questions, like where I lived and what my real name was. Of course, I didn't give him the answers. I would just give really vague responses like, "I lived in America," and I gave him my first name, which was also in my username. He talked the entire match, and I was honestly annoyed. After the game, I told him I was getting off and went to go eat. When I came back, there was a bunch of messages from him. This time, they said things like, "Come back," and "Why did you leave?" I don't know what this guy's deal was. I told him to shut up, and I went to play Madden instead. He sent me a response immediately and said, "You should not have said that." Then he said he knew who I was and he was going to find me and make me pay. I was so weirded out by this guy. I decided to block him and even report him because I was fed up with this situation and I just wanted to play video games in peace.
There you go. But I got a feeling that since you reported him, he's going to be way madder. But man, if he's one of them hackers, I'll be afraid. Because he could take that information you gave him and try to zero in on where you live at, and he'll actually fulfill his threat to you and come to your house. Oh man, that's scary.
About an hour later, I logged into Instagram and saw that I had a message request. At that moment, I knew I made a huge mistake. My PlayStation username and my Instagram username were literally the same thing. I opened the message which said, "If you think you can block me, you have another thing coming." I immediately blocked the user and changed my username on Instagram. Thank God I didn't have my last name in my Instagram profile. I don't know what this guy wanted, if he was serious or if he was just trying to scare me, but if so, he succeeded. I'm glad that I blocked him, and now I'm more careful when playing online.
I knew it had to be one of those hacker bullies that just likes to go on the internet and find out where this person's at, either on Instagram or any other social media platform. But thank God he blocked him and he did not have to hear from him no more. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more nighttime spooks content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Quarter channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day.